Hello, and welcome to the Daily Space for today, August 5th, 2020. I am your host, Annie Wilson. Most Mondays through Fridays, our team will be here putting science into your brain. Usually Wednesdays are for Rocket Roundup, and today is no different. Let's get to it, shall we? So first up, on July 30th at 11:50 a.m. UTC, the final Mars mission for this Martian launch window took off aboard a United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket from Slick 41 at Cape Canaveral, Florida. Perseverance is expected to arrive at the Red Planet on February 18th, 2021. Perseverance has four goals: determine whether life ever existed, characterize the climate, characterize the geology, and prepare for human exploration on Mars. According to NASA, Perseverance will land in Jezero Crater, a 28-mile wide, that's 45-kilometer wide, impact basin with a intriguing ancient river delta as well as steep cliffsides, sand dunes, boulder fields, and smaller impact craters. The delta is of particular interest because it's a target-rich environment for Percy's onboard instruments. There are at least 5 different kinds of rock, including clays and carbonates, that have high potential to preserve signatures of past life. Pixel will aim a tiny but powerful X-ray beam at rocks that will make the rocks glow depending on their elemental chemistry. Sherlock will shoot an ultraviolet laser at the samples to look for organic molecules. These are generally any molecules that have carbon-hydrogen bonds. What makes Perseverance a really big deal is that it's the first Mars rover designed to collect samples that could one day be returned to Earth. A core sample will be collected using a drill at the end of Percy's robotic arm. Once the sample is safely placed inside the bit carousel, other robotic bits on the rover will go through a series of maneuvers to place that sample inside the rover itself. The idea is that a future mission will retrieve the samples and send them back to Earth for further analysis. And
Give
yeah,
final go.
25 seconds.
Status check.
Go Atlas.
Go Centaur.
Go Mars 2020.
There we go. We are ready to go lift off this morning, Joshua.
rocket launches are loud.
8, 7, 6, 5,
5,
4. Engine ignition. 2, 1, 0.
Release.
And liftoff. As the countdown to Mars continues, the perseverance of humanity launching the next generation of robotic explorers to the Red Planet.
And Atlas TU has gone to closed loop control. Coming up on 30 seconds into flight, the RD-180 is throttling down as expected. Engine response looks good. And Mach 1 Atlas V is now supersonic. And passing 45 seconds into flight, vehicle is now passing through max Q, maximum dynamic pressure.
All right. Next up, on Thursday, July 30th, at 9:25 p.m. UTC, a Proton M was launched from Site 239 at Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Its payload was 2 communication satellites, Express 80 and Express 103. According to Roscosmos, the satellites, which are owned by RSDD, are designed to provide fixed and mobile services, digital, TV, and radio broadcasting, high-speed internet access, as well as data transmission in Russia and the Commonwealth of Independent States, which includes Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Moldova, Uzbekistan, and I'm so sorry, Tajikistan? these are former parts of the USSR. Anyways, the spacecraft themselves were built by Information Satellite Systems Rezhetnev, a subsidiary of Roscosmos, based on the Express 1000N bus, while the communication payloads were built by Thales Alenia Space. They have a design life of 15 years. Express 80 will be positioned and operate at 80 degrees east, while Express 103 will be positioned at 103 east. Both satellites have 16 C and 20 Ku band transponders that will provide coverage for Russia and Southeast Asia. Global coverage will be provided by 2 L-band transponders on Express 80 and 1 L-band transponder on Express 103. Reminder, rocket launches are loud. Ta-da! Next up is the Splashdown of DM20. This, in case you missed it, is the launch patch. So continuing their recent tradition of doing spectacular things on weekends, on Saturday, August 1st, the Dragon crew capsule Endeavour undocked from the International Space Station and began the slow process of changing its orbit to return to Earth, with NASA astronauts Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley, and the famous stuffed dragon Tremor. The re-entry began Sunday morning and included an 11-minute burn at 17:56 UTC, or about 1 p.m. Eastern. This long burn led to a precise landing in the still waters of the Gulf of Mexico. This landing took place in international waters near Pensacola at 18:48 UTC, or 2:48 p.m. Eastern, and was the first U.S. water landing since 1975. The capsule's total mission lasted 63 days, 23 hours, and 25 minutes, and it was flawless almost to the end. And the one thing NASA and SpaceX need to figure out how to fix was something not entirely related to the spacecraft. After landing, the capsule was swarmed. After landing, the capsule was swarmed by dozens of spectator boats. One particular boat, flying a Trump flag, planted itself between the capsule and SpaceX's Go Navigator boat that was trying to reach the capsule to retrieve it. This boat actually blocked the view of Go Navigator of the capsule. All of these boats were a hazard on multiple levels, and the least obvious being that the capsule may have had toxic gases still venting that could have affected the health of anyone who got too close. Luckily, there were no accidents, no reported health issues, and the SpaceX radio operator and high-speed boats were able to herd the spectators back to a safer distance. Both NASA and SpaceX have said they will work to figure out how to prevent this kind of confusion from happening again. Since the landings are in international waters, the Coast Guard can't establish an official safety zone. At this point, beyond not advertising the landing location, we're not sure what they can change. But when we learn more, we'll share it with you here on the Daily Space. Oh, and the Dragon crew capsule brought its space toilet all the way back to Earth, no toilets were harmed in this re-entry. And we have video of the splashdown.
200 meters. We are braced for splashdown.
Copy, brace for splashdown.
So there we heard Bob and Doug reporting that they are bracing for a splashdown. We should be able to see the Gulf of Mexico here in the shot just momentarily, as we're now just about 20 meters off the ocean.
There you go.
Splashdown.
As you can see on your screen, we have visual confirmation for splashdown.
SpaceX copies and concurs. We see splashdown and mains cut.
Dragon Endeavour has returned home. NASA astronauts Bob and Doug.
On behalf of the SpaceX and NASA teams, welcome back to planet Earth, and thanks for flying SpaceX.
I really, really like that bit at the end. Just, oh yeah, thanks for flying SpaceX, as if it were just, you know, a normal airline flight to Vegas or something. All right, and finally, while it didn't go to orbit, or even to the edge of space like a sounding rocket, it's still pretty impressive. I am, of course, talking about SpaceX's Starship NS5. No, not NS5. SN5, excuse me. After a couple of scrubs, including a really exciting rapid propellant offload earlier in the day, this glorified grain silo made a 150-meter hop in Boca Chica, Texas yesterday afternoon, just before midnight GMT or 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And yes, we have video. If you were watching one of the many live streams from the tank farm yesterday, you may have seen this. Also, Starship hops are loud, so watch your ears.
That's got to be good.
Come on. Let's see.
That's got to be good. We're good.
Everybody's waiting to see whether or not it blew up.
Good.
Show me. Oh my god.
Show me SN5.
Come on, where's it at?
It's good.
Yes! Oh my god. It's still upright.
Not only upright, it's still in one piece. Later in the day,
2, 1.
what?
Full duration.
So that was footage taken from the drone also inside the spacecraft showing the landing feet coming out. So that's pretty cool. And yes, that was the first time I've seen that video. Let's watch it again, because Yeah. Let's watch it again.
3, 2, 1.
This is wild.
Engine looks healthy. Copy that, Raptor. Tank pressure staying on It's coming through. Full duration.
That's wild. All right. That is still pretty cool. All right, to wrap things up, here's a running tally of a few spaceflight statistics for the current year. There are currently 3 toilets in space. We've burned up 2 toilets in the atmosphere so far this year. Humanity has put 562 satellites into orbit, and 546 of those came directly from launches. There have been 60 launch attempts so far this year, including 7 failures. I keep track of orbital launches by where they launched from, also known as spaceport. Here's that breakdown. China, 21, USA, 19, Kazakhstan, 6, Japan, 3, Russia, 3, New Zealand, 3, French Guiana, 2, Iran, 2, and Israel, 1. Your useless space fact for the week comes to us from community member Hexacosic Coron, who shares that SpaceX did a bit of troubleshooting for their custom timeline app after Bob Behnken reported that his tablet was displaying an error message that says Safari cannot open the page after they departed from the International Space Station. The astronauts fixed this problem by enabling Wi-Fi on their iPads so Doug's iPad could update Bob's iPad using AirDrop. And that rounds out our show for today. Thank you so much for listening. I have been your host, Annie Wilson. Today's script was written and edited by Dave Bullard, Gordon Dewis, Ali Pelfrey, Pamela Gay, and myself. Our web content will be edited and produced by Beth Johnson. Our executive producer and fearless leader is Dr. Pamela Gay. The Daily Space is a product of the Planetary Science Institute, a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to exploring our solar system and beyond. We are here thanks to the generous contributions of people just like you. The best way you can support us is through Patreon at patreon.com/CosmoQuestX. Like us, please share us. You never know whose life you can change by adding a daily dose of science.